Welcome into Good News Forecast. I'm Sophia Perricone.
And I'm meteorologist Kaylee Bowers. Thanks for joining us for another week of good news from around the world, the country, and right here in our own backyards. You guys know how we always start this show. Sophia, how's your week going so far?
I'm having a good week so far, Kaylee. We're in the throes of summer.
Yeah.
And end of July at the time of this recording. Maybe you're watching this in early August. Either way, it's still summertime, so I can't complain.
Can't complain.
How about you?
You know, when you say end of July, beginning of August, I always think, okay, is that in between of, okay, summer's almost over, we're back to school, pumpkin season technically starts in August. So
what?
Yeah.
August?
If you think about it, the stores will start having pumpkin out. The coffee shops will have pumpkin flavoring out. I know.
But do they determine pumpkin season?
In your eyes, when does pumpkin season start?
September.
You're wearing orange, though.
I am wearing orange. Pumpkin season does not start in July. Do not get it twisted.
August.
So you say August?
For me, I would like probably end of August, beginning of September, probably.
Okay.
Right when the coffee shops will start having the pumpkin flavoring out. I'm going to try to hold off until the beginning of September to get it like my pumpkin chai.
It is exciting, though, like once you've been in a stretch of heat and it's been a hot summer, it is nice to sort of look forward to and get excited for all things fall.
But then it gets sad because it's like summer's over. But don't worry, we still have a couple more weeks of summer break for the kids. I know a lot of them are getting ready for back to school. We'll have that coming up in Good News Forecast in a few weeks, but I just can't believe it's the end of July already.
I know, we're here.
Can't believe
we're
it.
here. So let's get started with some good news.
Let's go, good news.
Ohio is taking the #1 spot. CNBC ranked Ohio the #1 state for business in 2026.
And officials say Northwest Ohio had a hand in that ranking. Anna Miller breaks it all down.
This is a signal to businesses and site selectors across the country that Ohio is a proven environment for investment and growth.
The CNBC study looked at the factors companies consider when deciding where to open, expand, or relocate, including infrastructure, the cost of living, and cost of business.
So those three categories were major for the rankings. Ohio ranked high in all three of those, and Toledo was right there supporting that number for the state.
Ohio also ranked #1 for infrastructure, the highest weighted category. Joe Capel of the Toledo-Lucas County Port Authority says Toledo's infrastructure stands out, from railroads to highways to the water and more.
In addition to transportation assets, we have robust utility infrastructure, natural gas pipelines, stormwater infrastructure, availability of water, and it just makes Toledo very conducive for different types of economic development.
Regional Growth Partnership says those assets are already helping attract businesses and hundreds of jobs.
Ukrainian drone manufacturer, they're creating 300 new jobs to produce and manufacture the drones right here in Holland, Ohio. We had Whirlpool announcing a couple months ago a new facility going to Perrysburg. That's 100 new jobs. OP Mobility, Tier 1 automotive supplier, bringing 541 new jobs to Rossford.
Both organizations say recognition like this can make Toledo a more attractive place for companies, and the region can build off this momentum.
Ranking #1 for business, that sends a signal again that they are going to have the opportunity to thrive and grow here.
And also, fun fact, Michigan was #6 on the list, too. So top 10 for both of our states right there.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. I am not surprised at all.
No.
Something that really caught my attention there was how the reporter Anna mentioned that what makes Ohio, Ohio specifically, Northwest Ohio, perfect for this is we have the river, we have rails, we have major highway stretches.
We got a lot.
So, pretty good.
And one thing that I had been noticing too, I'm trying to go to all 50 states and visit. I know I'm biased when it comes to Ohio, but one thing that I have noticed is Ohio really does have it all, not just Northwest Ohio, but like you mentioned, we have the lakes, we have the rivers, we have mountains down in southeastern Ohio.
That's true.
And Ohio's just a really cool place to live. You came here from California.
I came here from California. What is Ohio's slogan? The heart of it all, right?
Yes, good job.
There you go. It's on all the signs and stuff, and I would know that anyways.
When you leave the state and you come back, that's when you see it on the billboards.
Yeah.
Well, some of the women here at WTOL 11, including Sophia, traded in the cameras and microphones for hammers and nails to help build a future home in West Toledo.
This marked our 4th year taking part in Maumee Valley Habitat for Humanity's Women Build. It's an event that gives volunteers the chance to learn new construction skills, while helping a local family achieve homeownership. Our team joined other volunteers to help frame a 5-bedroom home.
Habitat leaders say women's builds are designed to give volunteers hand-on experiences while using tools, whether they've never picked up a hammer before or have many years of experience.
Women come out here, if some of them have a lot of skills, some of them are actually professionals that come out, and some have no skills at all. But with a little bit of training and a little bit of guidance, and we just give them the tools, tell them do this, they do it, and in no time, they're not experts, but they're pretty darn good.
There you go.
Habitat says the home is expected to be ready for its new family this fall, and they rely on volunteers like our team to help make projects like this possible. That noodle arm shot was not supposed to be in there. I didn't think it would actually be put in there. And you saw me like
That's what I was
telling
going to say.
someone
I
to
see
move.
you. No, I thought you were going to tell the camera to no.
I was telling our photojournalist Gina to move because she's a power lifter and has real muscles.
Don't look at me.
And so I was like,
You got some muscles there.
Gina, get out of the shot. Don't show off your muscles. But great things. So nice to be part of it.
Yeah.
I learned a lot. It was a really hot day, but so worth it we put up like 3 walls.
Wow.
And when you see that, it's so nice to see that and know someone is going to call this home one day.
You're making a difference right there for sure.
Habitat is making a difference. So thanks for having us.
You
Habitat.
helped out too, which is great. Now, for some of us, smart home devices are just convenient, but for people with disabilities, the right device can mean more independence, better communication, and safer living space.
Annalise Corneo Garcia has a look inside a new house in Maumee where people can try out accessible tech before adding it to their shopping carts.
These labels help individuals
A pen that reads printed words out loud. Lines that open with a tap. They're the kinds of smart devices that many would enjoy, but what if you needed it to navigate your home? Now, Sunshine Community is an organization dedicated to supporting people with developmental disabilities in Northwest Ohio, is giving people the chance to use that type of technology before they buy it.
I think it just highlights that even if something was intended for one thing, there's so many other ways that could be helpful to someone as well.
The organization partnered with the Lucas County Board of Developmental Disabilities through a 6-figure grant to transform a multi-purpose building into a fully accessible tech house.
I hope it just provides an avenue of community, of creating supports, and a place that someone can come and they can try things out.
From a front door that opens with a remote to a bathroom seat that raises and lowers with the push of a button. Staff say the goal isn't just to showcase cutting-edge tech. It's to introduce practical, more affordable tools that can make everyday life easier and prevent adaptive equipment from being abandoned.
So things that you might not think are technology-based, but they really are, to help promote independence, all the way to the higher-end technologies.
The tech house opens to the public July 15th from 1 to 5 p.m. during an open house. After that, appointments will be available through Sunshine's website. Staff say this is just the beginning. They plan to create tech kits that can be delivered to people who can't make it out to the house. Reporting in Maumee, I'm Annalise Corneo Garcia, WTOL 11.
And since we are past July 15th, if you want to see the house, you have to make an appointment on Sunshine's website. Really great idea.
Yeah.
We were talking during the story, as the story was playing, saying the people who come up with this technology to help others are the smartest people in the world.
So smart and so talented, and just what a great way to give back to your community as well too, because that's just such a useful, like a lot of those are useful tools that we don't think about, we may take for granted just one day, you know, getting up, you know, off the couch or off the toilet or trying to open our door or something. And again, make that appointment to go check that out, because you never know what Sunshine Communities is up to.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Great organization, right?
I love that. So, you ready? Because the winners for the annual Pizza Palooza have been announced.
Let's start with the judge's choice, which my morning co-anchor Heather and I agonized over trying to decide. We were guest judges, which was very kind. Hungry Howie's won Best Specialty Pizza, while the winner for cheese and pepperoni went to Jacob's.
Now, for the main prize, which is People's Choice, Mancino's Pizza and Grinders took home the top spot. All right, Sophia, how was it? Are you full of pizza?
I don't think I could look at pizza for weeks now, but it's okay. It was worth it.
Yeah.
I was a specialty category. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. That's okay. It
Too
happened.
late.
It's
over.
I was judging the specialty pizzas. Heather was judging the cheese and pepperoni pizzas.
Okay.
And it was just tough. It was so great to see how creative these pizza places can get. I tried the chicken barbecue ranch, there were no bad pizzas. Loved the chicken barbecue ranch. 3 different types of pickle pizzas.
That's right.
Sort of like a meat lovers thing. So we tried 10 slices each. So
wow.
There was a variety. I only took
like a whole pie.
I could only take a couple bites of each because you got to pace yourself is what I learned. But
okay, so aside from the judging, what is your favorite pizza toppings? Your dream pizza?
Okay, so I love like a classic crispy pepperoni.
Okay.
But I also like pineapple on pizza.
That's right.
I like banana peppers on pizza, olives. I'm really not picky, which is why I was happy to do the specialty pizza judging. But what about you?
Again, I'm the same way. I like a good cheese and pepperoni pizza. Maybe once in a while throw in some banana peppers on top of that. Maybe a taco pizza.
Ooh.
I do like a good taco pizza.
Or have to submit for the specialty category.
Gosh. I don't know how to make it very well. I'll say. I'll go practice, and we'll be back with more good news forecast right after this. Welcome back to Good News Forecast. Every teacher hopes they'll make a difference in a student's life, and sometimes that difference starts with something as simple as noticing when a student is hurting. That's what happened to a 2025 Whitmer High School graduate who says a teacher's simple act of kindness helped her through the darkest time of her life. Steve Iwanek shows us how one conversation in a hallway turned into a friendship that lasts to this day.
In high school hallways, things can get pretty loud. Yet sometimes those who need to be heard go quiet.
And I saw her, like she said, had her hood up, AirPods in, and I could see her face was just distraught. You could see she had been crying.
Andre Cowell had never met the girl walking past his classroom, but after 25 years as a Toledo police detective, he had learned to recognize when someone was hurting.
Oh, I said, "What boy's got you crying?" And she kind of looked, and I said, "Who's making you sad?" And she just started bawling.
I just broke down because he had no idea that he had passed months prior.
June of 2022, right before Olivia Garcia's sophomore year, her boyfriend, Landon Frank, died from alcohol poisoning, the person she still wears around her neck to this day.
Going to always having him every single day, talking, calling, just being around each other and just having his presence to just one day that's gone, that was something that was very, very hard for me to deal with.
She says getting through school felt like climbing a mountain.
I just had my hood up, headphones in, didn't really want to talk to anyone or just not interact really.
But it was a former cop that came to her rescue, not fixing her grief, but giving her a promise.
So, hey, if you ever need to talk, my room is always open. And it just built a bond with her through that and watched her flourish.
He never even had Olivia in class, yet this student became one he'd never forget.
She tells me that if it wasn't for you, she wouldn't have made it out of high school. How does that make you feel?
It's overwhelming.
He still never looks at me with pity, he looks at me with pride, and I think that shows a lot.
To this day, the two still check on each other, an occasional text and hug, and a promise that the two kept together. Proof that the most important lesson isn't always taught in a classroom or found in a textbook. It's learning that even on life's hardest days, someone is still willing to walk beside you.
I'm very grateful that he kind of placed his bets on me because that was something that I needed, and I needed to be encouraged.
And Olivia says that support didn't stop in the hallway during her senior year. He made her a bet. So listen to this, saying if she finished her final semester with straight A's, he would give her $100.
She did that. She graduated with a 4.0, and a few weeks later, she got a card in the mail with $100 in it.
Oh, that just goes to show you never know who is listening and who is willing to help you right there. So I just love that bond right there, especially when he didn't have her in class.
Yeah. It takes one person to step up and say, hey, are you okay? Mm-hmm. And that could change someone's life. She said this is the darkest time of her life, and he really helped her kind of pull up and get there and find some happiness again. So I would just encourage everyone, if you see someone who maybe is looking down, just ask how they're doing. You never know what that could lead to.
You never know, and never dismiss them either as well too. They may be going through something you think is obnoxious or just not worth it, and just let them talk, because sometimes it's just good to let it out as well too.
Most definitely. Good advice there.
Here to help.
Has anyone told you that you are doing great and that you look beautiful today?
You're doing great and you look beautiful today.
You're doing great and you look beautiful today.
I love that. That's the message a Chicago-based sculpture artist wants to put out into the world. This sculpture has been a fixture of the International Cove Park since 2019, but it wasn't originally meant to stay there.
It was brought in for Momentum Fest and was built to be up for a week, but it gained popularity, so the original was decommissioned and rebuilt to be permanent.
I would say my life's mission is about bringing positivity to the public spaces. So bringing the message of you are beautiful and you are doing great is extremely important to me. It's all about sort of uplifting people's day, giving people a moment to feel better about themselves and just enjoy life.
More than 100 sculptures have been placed throughout the country, and Hoffman says he's made around 10 million stickers with the message in 118 different languages since 2002.
Wow. Okay.
Aww.
I do remember when I first moved to Toledo in 2019, I do remember seeing that, I think.
Really?
I've seen it recently.
Okay.
Maybe it wasn't then, but I did see it at some point, and I didn't realize it went away.
That's sad. But just know that your positivity never goes away. The happiness, your greatness never goes away.
We have a lot of deep sayings here today.
We're getting very deep and emotional, apparently.
I know, yeah.
So something else that we're going to be a little deep and emotional about, because it's over. 4th of July is gone. Yeah. But here's the good news. America's 250th birthday, we are celebrating year-round. And today we're bringing you something you might want to see in person. A show of patriotism making people pull over.
Tim Miller has the story behind the mural catching attention at US 6 and Pemberville Road in Bradner.
On a perfectly breezy summer afternoon in Bradner, a sweeping American flag is not the star of this show. The mural is a stunning work of art from Dean Davis, who was asked by the property owner, John Nickel, to create something special here. Nickel family photos show it taking shape, from the blueprint to Davis up on a lift to reach the highest places, to the U.S. soldier coming into form on the right side. Davis finished the aerosol spraying last fall, but this is the first summer for travelers to see it.
You can't have a fear of heights if you do something like this. You must be totally fine up there.
Terrified.
Really?
To the soul of me. I really am. It never affects people until it's a day like this where it's a little bit windy and the wind wants to kind of play peekaboo with you.
From even further away, it dominates the landscape. Davis didn't want the soldier to be masculine or feminine.
I wanted it to be really like a very dramatic silhouette, but then cast those stars on top of them to really kind of emphasize the patriotism that kind of like is inside of our minds at all times.
There's an aircraft carrier and 2 submarines, and this bigger sub will soon have SSN 769 painted on it, identifying it as the USS Toledo. There are also 3 American fighter jets.
I think we're so close to such an amazing base. I would love for the 180th to recognize those as theirs.
Fittingly, Dean Davis, John Nickel, and John's wife Marie are all Navy veterans. John and his family get to see this every day.
I was on submarines. I was in the Navy for 10 years, from 1982 to 1992. And it was a great time of my life. And I want to honor the people that are serving now.
It also looks amazing at night and with the northern lights above it after it was finished. Davis says feedback has been all positive and he thinks it can unite the country.
This moment is just a kind of a moment to reflect, but I think we should really be focused on doing better, just realizing that we're all part of the American tribe.
I don't have words right now, but the homeowner says he wants people to stop by and take pictures. Just ring the doorbell first and let them know that you're there, and so that way they're not surprised.
Yes. You're speechless. It is, especially that shot with the northern lights.
Oh,
I think we both were like, oh my God.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. It just goes to show that we have so many wonderful and talented people here in Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan. Dean Davis, if you're watching this, you are amazing. That was just the skill and the talent and just the pride, because you can tell, like, he's a Navy veteran. Those folks are also Navy veterans. I love that they're able to kind of give back and honor this way.
That's really cool. I mean, And that would kind of catch your attention as you're driving by. I mean, how could you miss that?
Pull over.
Nice that you do have the opportunity to pull over and that the homeowners are like, yeah, come take a picture. Just let us know you're here. So
don't spook us.
Yeah, I know. I thought that was funny too. But it's awesome to see that they're just like, yeah.
Very cool.
Come on, say hi.
Well, speaking of the U.S., we do have the final update in 2026 World Cup. Spain is the winner of the 2026 World Cup.
The Spanish team beat Argentina in the final match in New Jersey in extra time. The score stayed 0-0 in regulation, but Spain broke through with Ferran Torres scoring the only goal of the game in the 106th minute.
Now we look ahead to the Women's World Cup, which kicks off on the pitch next summer in Brazil. All right, Sophia, you are our World Cup fanatic here.
I was
How do we feel?
I was happy to see Spain win.
Yeah?
Yep. Argentina won last time. I didn't want to see back-to-back wins for Argentina.
Okay.
Obviously would have loved to see the United States win, but
Yeah.
realistically, I know soccer is not our expertise, and that's okay. So I tend to root for France. France came in 4th place because England came in 3rd, Argentina 2nd, Spain won. So if it couldn't be France, I'm happy it's Spain.
Okay.
That was just a lot of information at once. But speaking of the U.S. and U.S. teams, the U.S. women's national soccer team has won 4 World Cups.
Oh, that's really cool.
Looking ahead to seeing them. They didn't win the last time, I don't think. I think the last time they won was 2019.
Okay.
So hopefully 2027 is their year again.
So no back-to-backs this year. Next year, I should say.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes, yeah.
And before we go to break, we want to give a congratulations to someone very close to us here at WTOL 11. How about this? WTOL 11 sports reporter and anchor Tyler Segerman just proposed to his now fiancee Jill.
Tyler popped the question to Jill at the docks in downtown Toledo in mid-July, and she said yes!
I'll be honest, I didn't know this.
You didn't know?
I didn't know
this. We're breaking news here on Good News
I did
Forecast.
not. Oh
my
That makes me
gosh.
so happy for Tyler and Jill.
I have found ever since getting engaged, I mean, I've always been happy for people who get engaged, but since getting engaged myself, I'm like, this is the best moment of your life. Like, soak it in. Like, I truly, again, I'm so excited for my wedding.
As you should be.
I will say, I don't think anything can top my engagement because it was a surprise. I am planning this wedding. I know what's coming.
You know what's coming.
So whenever people get engaged, I just tell them, soak it up. Like, this is truly the best moment. That high lasts like a week.
Yeah.
And it's just,
Walk me through the day of you getting engaged.
Okay, it was a total surprise. We were in Traverse City, and which we go to Traverse City often, so I was not expecting it.
You didn't have any hunch that this may be your engagement weekend?
No, because trips we had taken before, I thought it was going to be those weekends.
Okay.
So when it got time to the weekend it actually happened, I was like, it's not happening.
It's not happening.
I've
Okay.
gotten my hopes up before.
Oh.
So I just kind of was like, whatever, we're having a nice weekend.
Okay.
And we went to, before dinner one night, we went to a beach that we typically go to on the lake. And he proposed there, and we were with his family. My family flew in to surprise. So
I love that.
it's very special. So congrats to Jill and Tyler.
I'm so happy.
I know you're just learning this here. I have not seen Tyler since then, so we'll have to go catch the story
Yes.
and stuff.
Notice how she's going like this with her ring.
Catch the story.
The ring. And real fast, I do want to mention with your engagement, I saw you that following week when you came back from your vacation. I'm like, oh, Sophia, how was your weekend? And you're just casually, oh, I got engaged. What?
Sometimes I didn't want to, like, maybe other people don't care.
What?
I don't know. I was just like,
Just like, oh yeah, I got engaged. Okay.
Casual.
Okay.
Casual. But congrats to Jill and Tyler. We are so
Congratulations.
excited. Enjoy the planning. Just listen to Jill, Tyler. We'll be right back.
Not just for the engagement.
Welcome back to Good News Forecast. We can always use a fresh start or a second chance.
And one man in Virginia is giving young men just that. Sean Martinelli has the story.
Despite the sounds, despite the dust, if you think this story is only about wood, you're in for a splinter.
Let's face it, I'm old. They make me young.
Tom Barfield's a volunteer with the Alexandria Seaport Foundation.
So you see I'm lined up right here.
Twice a year, the nonprofit works with young people who need a fresh start. Over 6 months, these apprentices learn skills of the shop.
You know, it's not so much the woodworking as it is working with young people.
Well, he's a legend. He's a legend.
Amon Hill is one of this semester's apprentices. Before he arrived here,
I was actually shot 9 times. I've been shot 8 times in my leg and 1 time in my finger.
Amon didn't go much into his past, but says he once had big ambitions.
I was gonna be a firefighter and, you know, maybe like a lawyer, I had all these dreams. Working with my hands has been just as extraordinary to me.
Extraordinary in part because of people like Tom.
He's had a hard row to hoe in life, and he finally decided on his own that he was going to change the course of his life. These guys are looking for, I guess, someone to kind of be an example for them, and that's what I try to be.
Tom never had children of his own.
Yeah, these are my substitute kids.
Especially Amon, who was put up for adoption at birth. Tom's the role model he never had.
Okay.
But says he always needed.
A blessing, I call it.
Where does that emotion come from?
So that, just looking back at what I've been through, looking back on how far I came.
When these students graduate, they will take with them much more than a perfect cut.
All of this comes together to, we hope, produce a young person who's ready to head out and make a better life for themselves.
Giving these workers of wood a foundation of steel.
Very nice, very nice.
In Alexandria, Virginia, Sean Martinelli, WUSA 9.
Oh, he's gonna keep that for the rest of the...
You just, the skill right there, not only for, you know, the craftsmanship, but also just taking the time, the patience just to get to know someone again and give them that second chance, because you never get, like we talked about earlier, you never know what someone's going through, and maybe there are some people that want to try to rebuild their life again.
Yeah.
No pun intended with the building part, but you just never know.
And it really only takes one person to give you that second chance or to give you that fresh start. So you could be that person, we said, that checks in on someone. You could be that person to give someone a second shot.
Very sweet right there. So, all right, imagine this. Your dog goes missing. I don't like this story already.
Sorry.
But it comes home years later, and after being hundreds of miles away, your pup is found.
Wow, that was reality for one Nebraska family whose dog was found in Indiana.
Wow.
Jenna Percio has the remarkable story.
A connection that withstood time and state lines. Chong, a dog that went missing in 2021, has been reunited with his owner. It took him a few minutes, but then... Immaculata Jackman says she never lost hope.
I still looked for him. We still went to our old neighborhood and drove around and looked to see if we could see anyone walking him or if he was running around somewhere.
Earlier this week, Chong was found behind a truck stop all the way in Indiana. 5 years ago, Chong had escaped Immaculata's house, and someone in Lincoln had gotten him chipped. Somehow, after being chipped, he ended up 642 miles away, and his chip was the only clue that led him back to Nebraska.
And my friend sent me the post, and I just couldn't believe it.
She called the animal shelter as soon as she heard and explained her unique situation.
They told me that they were all hoping and praying that the other people did not contact them.
After 3 days had passed, Chong was officially up for adoption and able to return to his original family. Immaculata was not the only family member Chong got to reunite with. His brother, Chi-Chi, also made the journey to Indiana.
Is that your brother?
Now, back in Lincoln, the family is finally whole again.
Yeah, never lose hope, because it's been 5 years and we found him.
Reporting in Lincoln, Jenna Parcio, 1011 News.
I would have loved to see them be we saw them be reunited, but I'd like to be there in person.
I know.
You know?
I mean, neither one of us have kids, but as far as like being pet parents go, that is one of my biggest nightmares is losing one of my pets that way, them somehow getting out. Luckily, both Sunny and Barkley are chipped, but it's just, nightmares right there. So I'm glad that he came back home.
All those years later, all those hundreds of miles away.
He went on a vacation,
He's
on
like,
an adventure.
I think the credit card's not working anymore. I'm going home. Vacation over.
They cut me off. Oh, wow. Well, that does it for this week on Good News Forecast.
We'll see you next week with more good news from around the world, across the country, and right here in our own backyard. Bye.